Our bodies are incredible, really, like having this, well, microscopic army always working inside us,
Right.
battling away, fighting off threats we don't even know about.
Yeah,
That's our immune system in action. And with cancer, well, scientists are trying to give our defenses an edge, helping them fight smarter, not just harder.
absolutely.
That's where this whole world of immunotherapy comes in. And today, we're diving deep into a really cutting-edge area, SIRPα inhibition.
It's a mouthful.
It is, but trust me, this stuff is fascinating. We're diving deep into this article from Assay Genie. It starts with a challenge we face. Cancer cells, they're masters of disguise.
They really are.
They're constantly evolving, finding new ways to hide from our immune system.
It's a game of cat and mouse. And cancer cells, they always seem to be one step ahead.
So how do we fight back against these masters of disguise?
Well, a promising route is targeting how cancer cells, how they exploit this system that's actually meant to protect healthy cells.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So our cells, they have this thing called the SIRPα CD47 axis. It's like a secret signal that says, don't eat me.
The don't eat me signal. Talk about sneaky.
It is sneaky,
Oh.
and cancer cells have learned to take advantage of it.
Of course they have.
So there's this thing called CD47, right? Think of it as an ID badge that's on healthy cells.
Okay.
It signals to macrophages, these are the Pac-Man cells of your immune system, that they're friends, not food.
So it's like a friend pass for our cells. But I'm guessing this is where the cancer cells get tricky?
Exactly. They're so clever. They've learned to overexpress CD47.
Overexpress.
Yeah, like they're wearing multiple don't eat me badges. It makes them look harmless, even to the immune system.
Wow. So it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, disguising itself, and the macrophages, they just fall for it.
They do, unfortunately. The SIRPα receptor
Yeah.
on the macrophage, it's the eye that sees these badges, and it gets fooled by all these don't eat me signals.
So the macrophages back off, and the cancer cells slip right through.
Exactly. They evade those defenses.
So cancer cells are basically running this huge don't eat me campaign, huh? Sounds like a tough nut to crack.
It's a challenge, for sure. But scientists are working on some exciting new ways to fight back.
Oh, like what? Tell me more.
So one of the most promising approaches, it involves inhibiting SIRPα. Essentially, we're talking about blocking that don't eat me signal.
So disrupting that secret handshake you were talking about.
Exactly. And one way to do that is by using things called anti-SIRPα antibodies.
Okay.
These antibodies, they work like blockers. They bind to the SIRPα receptor on those macrophages.
So the don't eat me signal can't get through.
Exactly. It's like taking away that fake friend pass the cancer cells are using.
So with the disguise gone, the macrophages, they can see the cancer cells for what they are.
Yes, they recognize the threat and go about their job. Engulfing and destroying the invaders.
Like giving those Pac-Man macrophages a power boost.
I like that analogy. And it's more than just eliminating the immediate threat you see. When the macrophages do their thing, engulfing the cancer cells, they break them down, and then they present little fragments of them to other immune cells, like T cells,
These fragments are like,
antigens. Think of it as sending out a wanted poster to the rest of the immune system.
so it's like training the rest of the immune system to recognize this specific enemy.
Precisely. It's called antigen presentation, and it's crucial for training T cells to target and destroy cancer cells with that specific antigen.
And this leads to a more comprehensive response.
Exactly. It's not just about targeting individual cancer cells.
Right.
We're talking about potentially training the whole immune system to be on high alert.
So we're not just talking about getting rid of cancer cells. It's like we're teaching the immune system to recognize them, long term.
Exactly.
That's pretty incredible. This SIRPα inhibition, it sounds like a game changer.
It has huge potential. The whole scientific community is excited about this one.
But I'm guessing with something this complex, there are challenges.
Of course, it's still early days for this type of immunotherapy.
Right.
Researchers are working hard to figure out, well, its potential, but also its limitations.
What kind of hurdles are they facing?
Well, one concern is something called off-target effects. Remember how CD47 is like a don't eat me signal? On healthy cells, too.
Yeah, and cancer cells, they kind of exploit that.
Right, by overexpressing it. So the thing is, if we block this signal too much, there's a risk. Macrophages, they might start attacking healthy cells, too.
Makes sense. We want to boost the immune system, not turn it against us.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance. That's why a lot of the focus is on making those SIRPα inhibitors super specific,
Hmm.
targeting mainly those macrophages, minimizing any side effects on other cells.
So precision is key here, finding the right tool for the job.
You got it.
Yeah.
And then there's the fact that not all cancer cells are the same. There's something called tumor heterogeneity. It's a big challenge, meaning different cancers or even different cells within the same tumor. They can have different levels of that CD47 expression.
Ah, okay.
Some cancers, they might really depend on that surpass CD47 axis for protection. Others, not so much.
So SIRPα inhibition, it might be super effective for some cancers, but not for others.
Exactly. It's like that with a lot of cancer treatments. It's rarely one size fits all. That's why research is focusing on which patients, which cancer types will benefit most.
So where do things stand now? What's next for this whole SIRPα inhibition thing?
It's an exciting time. There are clinical trials happening right now. They're looking into the safety, the effectiveness of these anti-SIRPα therapies, both on their own and combined with other treatments.
Combined, like what?
Well, one promising avenue is combining them with other immunotherapies, things like checkpoint inhibitors, for example.
Checkpoint inhibitors. Remind me what those do again.
Sure, they basically they take the brakes off the immune system. They allow it to really attack those cancer cells. Because cancer cells, they can be sneaky, right? They can actually suppress the immune response. Checkpoint inhibitors, they interfere with that, boosting the immune system's ability to fight back.
Ah, so it's like a two-pronged attack then. SIRPα inhibition taking away that don't eat me disguise.
Yeah,
And checkpoint inhibitors, they release the brakes on the immune system.
exactly. It's a coordinated attack, hitting it from different angles. Makes it much harder for those cancer cells to escape.
Wow.
It's still early days for this research, but the potential is huge.
It's incredible to see how far immunotherapy has come. What was once just an idea, a theory, it's actually changing how we treat cancer now, offering new hope to patients.
It really speaks to the power of scientific research. All those researchers around the world working tirelessly. And this is really just the beginning. We're just starting to understand how complex the immune system is and what its potential is for treating so many diseases.
Well, that was fascinating. A deep dive into the world of SIRPα inhibition. We talked about how cancer cells evade our immune system and the amazing research paving the way for new, more effective cancer treatments. If you want to learn more, check out our show notes. We'll have links to that Assay Genie article and other research. Thanks for joining us on this journey of scientific discovery.